we're kind of living for when this thing happens, like when my fantasy Halloween party is actually going to happen, even though it probably never will because I'm so hard to get to. And I'm doing that instead of living in the now. Letting go of stuff doesn't mean letting go of my memories or letting go of my dreams. It's just about releasing what is no longer serving us so we can focus on what does. Like, what can I call in that is going to serve me? Making space for who we are, not who we think we should be or who we think we might be, but who are we? And so getting rid of my Halloween costumes is very difficult for me. Oh my gosh, I might need to go to therapy to deal with it. Welcome to Drinks with the Girls. Conversations for women over 40 around connection, change, and the power of female friendship. Living well with stories to tell. I'm Karen, and this is Lisa.
We are moms and solopreneurs stepping into our own, diving into real conversations about things that matter to women in midlife.
We're here to spill the tea on everything that affects women in their 40s and beyond. Topics like loss and grief, changing relationships, launching kids, menopause, and reinventing ourselves in midlife. We are here to tackle it all.
Connect with us through a blend of our lived experiences, our friendship, the memory of our moms, plus a collection of real stories, honest conversations, and engaging interviews that will make women over 40 feel seen and remind them that they're not alone on this journey called life. Let's go.
Hey there, listeners. Welcome back to Drinks with the Girls, the podcast where we sip, share, and talk about living our best lives in this amazing midlife chapter. I'm Karen, your go-to for practical tips and a little tough love.
Yeah, but you do it so gently, so it's okay. And I am Lisa. I'm here to sprinkle in some humor, of course, because I've got to do that. Remind you not to take life too seriously. So grab your favorite drink. I know I have mine. Wine, tea, whatever's calling your name. Let's dive into today's topic, decluttering. All right, before we jump in, Karen, what are you drinking, love?
I am drinking my go-to, my June Shine Hard Kombucha in mango daydream flavor.
The one that's not fermented.
Yeah, right. What about you? What are you drinking?
You know, I'm boring, but utilitarian. And I'm just drinking, I think it's like Barefoot Cellars Cab Blend or something like that. I just didn't feel like getting fancy. And I left my good bottles of wine at Thanksgiving. I do this every freaking year when I go to someone else's house. I bought two like really nice bottles of wine, like one red, one white, and like forgot them there. And so now it's like, it's so embarrassing because it's like, hi, can I have my wine back? Like, it's so cheesy, right? So it's like, I text her. I was like, oh, do you guys have it? Do you want? No, come get it. But I'm like, God, what does that make me if I'm like actually making an errand out of like going to retrieve my like forgotten Thanksgiving wine? But it's good stuff.
There's something there. But dude, you're supposed to open it there.
I know. So at the risk of making this segment way longer than it really shouldn't be already, we were going to open a bottle of champagne and then we didn't. And then we just went straight to the bourbon and mixed it. So so there just didn't seem much point after that because it kind of started out with, so how's your dad? And I needed a drink to answer that question. So
right.
That's coming, listeners. Believe us.
More on that later. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go. Decluttering. I actually secretly love this topic and I love decluttering. It's my, what's it called? It's my guilty pleasure. But it's one of those things that we know we should do, right? But let's be honest, it's overwhelming. At least in my house, it's overwhelming. And so today we're going to break it down into manageable steps. We're going to explore the underrated part of decluttering, which is the emotional side of just letting shit go, literally and figuratively. And we're going to share some practical tips to help you create the physical and emotional space for the life that you want to live.
Okay, so this is the perfect petri dish for this topic because unlike Karen, I know I have to declutter and I'm failing miserably. Listeners, if we ever do a YouTube channel and I could take my computer and look at my office, you would literally plots if you saw my office.
Okay, full transparency. Just because it's my guilty pleasure does not mean my home is decluttered.
Okay, thank you.
Struggle big time, but I aspire to be a good declutterer. I aspire. So that's why this topic is it excites me. And, when I organize the silverware drawer, I get a little turned on. It's I love this. I love this because of the way you feel afterwards, but we'll dive into all that.
Okay, we can still be friends. I'm very relieved.
Yay.
So, as evidenced by this little tete-a-tete, why is decluttering such a big deal for women, period, but also women in midlife?
Okay, so think about it. By the time we hit our 40s and beyond, we've accumulated decades of stuff, and not just our own stuff. I'm still holding on to things of my mother's and my grandmother's. My mother was an only child. I was the oldest daughter, so I took all her stuff. Then when my grandmother passed away, since my mother was an only child and I was the oldest granddaughter, I took all her stuff. And I still have it, and it's been literally 30 years. So, yes, I know. Lisa's grimacing right now. I know. I've gotten better. I've been able to let go of things slowly over time, but it's ridiculous. It is literally ridiculous. It has a hold on me. And it's not just the physical clutter, it's the mental and emotional weight that comes with it.
So, since we're unburdening ourselves, again, try not to make this a long story, but I think I've talked about this briefly on the podcast, but we lived overseas for a couple of years. And when we went over, we were going over to Zimbabwe in Africa, and my kids were little, right? My daughter was 1 and my son was 4. And they sent over a shipping container that we could pack with stuff. And we were gonna go over there for a while. So I'm talking diapers and 5 years of clothes and 3 bikes so they could grow all the things, right? Long story short, we were not able to stay and we actually never got our things. So it was suburban camping for a while with little kids with no toys. That's a whole other podcast episode. At any rate, then the next year we ended up going to India. So we lived in this tiny little apartment. We couldn't take that stuff. So basically that shipping container has been sitting there for 14 years now where I've unpacked various pieces, right? It's just not a priority for me to unpack 10 pairs in the bag of new boys size 5 shorts, right? So it's as I've gotten to it, I've given it away, I've done all the things, but it's just and then I remember I got home and it was I kid you not, 4 gallons of sunscreen. Because, fun fact, people don't need sunscreen in most parts of Africa. And I brought the whitest children on the planet to the sunniest locales in the world. So I made sure I had sunscreen. So, it's just, all the
Can't
things.
you hire somebody and it's just not even, I mean, obviously you don't miss it. So it's just in there. So why don't you just have somebody come and take it?
So I did, and I did part of it, and I've gotten my garage pretty well done. But here's the really ridiculous part is there's still stuff in my dad's barn, and it's probably ruined at this point because that thing leaks like a sieve. But again, see new episode that we're not really trying to promote, but it's just happening because that's the way we feel. I'm really triggered by going over to my dad's house right now, and so I'm avoiding that like the plague. Again.
So that's where the container is at your dad?
No, the container itself is gone. We had to unpack everything, but it's just boxes and boxes and boxes of crap strewed everywhere, right? And I love my house, but that's the other thing that I need desperate help with is I don't have a lot of storage. And when you don't have a lot of good storage, stuff just sits around. So yeah,
this episode is going to be so good for me and you and our listeners.
Hallelujah. Praise Jesus. I need help. Raise your hand if you have closets full of clothes you might wear someday, or you might be skinny enough to wear someday, or boxes of God knows what is shoved in the garage. I did try, that reverse hanger trick. Have you seen that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So you start the year off and you flip everything reverse in your hanger. And the idea is whatever is still reversed at the end of the year, you get rid of. And that helped a lot. I mean, I got to say, having that visual helped me, and it made me be okay, well, I can let that go. But I mean, that's the top layer of the iceberg. That's
a good trick. I'm pretty good at purging my closet. That is the one area that I have decluttering mastered. Once I stopped holding on to, this was a couple years ago. Once I stopped holding on to and trying to squeeze my ass into size 4 jeans.
I love it.
I mean, literally, that was a light bulb moment for me. It's what the hell am I even doing? Why am I holding on to this? I don't even want to be a size 4 anymore. No, I love my midlife voluptuous. Well, I'm not really voluptuous, but my midlife soft and cuddly and curvy self, right? But that was a light bulb for me. And it's like, why am I holding on to these things that just make me feel bad? Like trying to
Yep.
squeeze into jeans that I don't fit in. Why am I doing anyway? So I've gotten really good at cleaning my closet. That's pretty much the only area. But and what about those things? I'm bad at this too. Those random things that you might need someday.
Okay, but here's my problem, and this is what feeds into my trauma. Okay, I literally have so much clutter right now because, anyways, long story. I will literally order the same thing on Amazon because I feel like I forget to order it. So now I'm like paranoid because I'm like, what did I do with it? I can't freaking find it.
I recently followed this woman on Instagram and I can't think of her name, but I'm going to find it so I can pass her on to you, but also so we can leave it for our listeners because she does decluttering in such a matter-of-fact, tough love girlfriend way that it is really good. So we'll put that in the show notes and I'll tell you her name when I figure it out. But did you know that studies show that clutter can increase cortisol levels, the stress hormone? I mean, I get this. I feel it.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And I really feel this with a lot of those things of my mom's and of my grandmother's because I feel guilty for getting rid of it. Or actually, you know what? This just came to me right now. It's not even feeling guilty. It's like I'm getting rid of them.
Yep, totally.
And that is, my heart can't handle it.
Yep.
But they say that like a cluttered space equals a cluttered mind. And I do think there's validity in that, but for me, it's about that emotional piece of like letting go. But I have to ask, what toll does that take? Not letting go of the things that aren't serving me.
So one of the things I've started doing, and that's actually been really good, is digitizing stuff. So like, when I find the really hilarious drawing that my daughter as a 2-year-old did, and I'm like, I got to keep this. Well, no, I can take a picture of it and I can put it, and that's been good, right? Because it's like, I still have it, but I don't need all this crap to store it. One of the things I'm going through in terms of my mom and her stuff is her writing was so distinctive. And anybody that ever got a letter from her remembers it. Like, I know we've talked about the letter she wrote you. Yeah. And the really heartbreaking thing was once her Parkinson's got really bad, like she just couldn't write. So anything I have, a book, I mean, I even have like old canning lids that she's written on. I treasure those because it just really connects me. But again, I can digitize that. I can just take a picture and I'm fine. So I think for me, it's really about like, how do I tame the chaos in a way that I'm comfortable with and that honors those memories. I spent Thanksgiving with a good friend of mine and she's like the ultimate declutter and she just like rearranges her house all the time for fun. And she's like, yeah, I love it. It's fun. I was like, would you? She's like, oh yeah, this summer, sure. I'm like, oh my God, could I love you anymore? I said, because I need someone to sit down that doesn't have an emotional attachment to all this crap and say, not so much get rid of this and keep that, but just like, how can I organize this stuff? Because I know a lot of this is because I just can't wrap my head around how do I store it, find a place, like whatever, like I can't throw out all my clothes. I can't throw out all my laundry, although I really wish I could because I hate freaking doing laundry.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yes, please.
Okay, don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I actually have a lot of kind of guilt about this, but kind of a lot of like glee for myself. And okay, listeners, you're going to think I'm a terrible.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. Can I guess?
You do not. Yeah,
I do.
Sure.
I bet I do. Tony does your laundry for you.
No, he does a lot of things.
That was my first guess.
No, it's worse than that.
Oh God.
I threw away a massive, I would say, what is it? Like what's one of those big sizes, like 20 by 18 or I don't know, one of those big, huge pictures of my grandmother.
That's so I'm like waiting for like the worst horrible thing you've ever done to come up and I'm like
it's my grandmother.
Okay.
Like do you know how much guilt I felt when I was putting that into the trash? But here's the caveat. I had the same photo in a smaller, like manageable 5x7 size. And it was kind of like a professional photo. It wasn't like her in her beautiful little like evening gown type thing. I have some of those too, but I was so proud of myself for honestly putting that in the trash because I'm not going to hang it in my house. It takes a hell of lot of storage in my closet. And it's like, I love you, Grandma, but I'm sorry.
I don't got the space.
Right. So please,
Oh my God. I was literally like going through like,
no shade.
when you're telling the story, I'm like, okay, Tony, nope, not Tony. Okay. You freaked out one day and threw all your clothes out because you didn't want to do the laundry. Like, I'm like literally going through all of these and supporting you as your friend through like every step. Like, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate the support and lack of judgment. Thank you.
That's just me.
My name is Lisa Corachella McDowell, and I'm not just a healthy smoothie girl. Check out nextlevellifewithlisa.com, my website and centerpiece for all that I do. Connect with me about my free classes, the fabulous health and wellness products I have, literacy work, special education advocacy, and social media. I try to live my truth and put it all out there authentically. And for a special offer, go to nextlevellifewithlisa.com/podcast for some exclusive goodies for my Drinks with the Girls listeners. See you there.
It's like living with constant background noise. I just like it's there and it just weighs on me. And I'm just like, okay, I got to tame this, but I don't have time, like blah, blah, blah. And you may not notice it all the time, but it wears you down because all those piles of stuff aren't just sitting there. They're giving you the mental equivalent of like evils. Hey, you suck. Deal with me. Right? It's just another reason to beat yourself up. That's kind of what happens with me.
Yeah. When I look at my office, like same. If we did a live, if we did put our podcast on YouTube,
a big reveal.
Hysterical because, and I feel like I am one of those women who has never been diagnosed, but I have ADD, and I'm going to blame that and menopause, and let's blame the patriarchy too because I live.
Okay, good. Let's just throw that in there. Well, just kidding. Okay. Seriously, hang on a second. Speaking of the patriarchy, do we really think men are freaking out about all this? No, they're not.
I can tell you 100% they are not because Tony, the love of my life, is a collector and a hoarder. And he and I together it's not good because neither one of us has the strength to be like, we should really get rid of that thing, but we're working on it.
Time for since this is turning out to be like a confessional episode. My husband is so bad at decluttering books. He has no idea how many I've gotten rid of because I can't trust him. He'll just keep all of them. And so now I don't even tell him because he'll freak if I tell him. But it's like, babe,
he'll never know.
Do you really need like the German translation of Kafka in the original German and English? Do you really need 6 versions of the same book? It's like, oh my God, and
he and I are what's it called? Like kindred spirits or something like that because I'm the same. And guess what? My mom was an English teacher and loved reading. Like it was her favorite, like Shakespeare. She read Shakespeare for fun. She was set nobody could relate. I could not relate with her. And my grandmother, she loved smut. I can't even tell you how many Harlequin romances I had to get rid of.
That's awesome.
She was the best, man. My poker playing, bourbon drinking, smut reading grandmother. She was excellent. But anyway, yes, I have my own books. I have my mother's books and I have my grandmother's books. So I feel that deeply. And we literally just pulled out all our Christmas decorations. That's a whole other thing. We pulled out our Christmas decorations. And Tony has all these big, huge storage bins of my books on dollies so we can roll them around the garage to move them and get them out of the way. This is have to say,
you have a problem.
I am going to handle it this is my goal in January. After Christmas is done. That's my next big goal is to
bring the comments in January.
Absolutely. I'm saying it out loud for accountability, your favorite word.
I know.
So I've put it out there. You guys, everybody hold me accountable, please, because this needs to happen.
So again, y'all know from time to time, we love really to talk about our moms on this podcast and their friendship. And that was my mom. They were both English majors. So I'm sure they had a bunch of classes together. And my mom, God love her. She's the one that's like, oh, I'm willing all my silver to you so you can have it. And it's like, woman, I don't got time to polish silver before Thanksgiving. That is in no way going to happen. But she bought they have this ridiculous library. And I'm talking hardbacks. I'm talking like special editions of classics. And at one point, she was literally trying to duplicate it. Oh, Louisa May Alcott, Little Women. Okay, so I have one of these and one of these. I'll give one to your brother and one to you. Like her entire library. And I didn't have the heart to be like, Mom, there's no freaking way. Like, I don't have the space for that, And I try to save some, like, she was famous for like writing in books, like dedications and stuff like that, right? And so I saved the stuff like that she gave to the kids or that's dated and all that. But like, I mean, my dad must have 3-4 floor to ceiling bookshelves that are like 20 feet wide. And I'm like,
If my mom's
can't.
writing in it, I'm not getting rid of it. And she wrote in the margins of all the book. Like, so it's hard. I struggle, but like, I just can't. If her writing is in it, I'm not that strong yet to get rid of those.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I think for me, like a lot of the rules are, if she has a writing, if it's meaningful. Right. Yeah, no, exactly. But like paperbacks,
it's not just the stress I feel in my body for holding on to these things that I need to let go of. Like clutter affects our ability to focus. Research from Princeton University Neuroscience Institute found that having a cluttered environment competes for our attention, making it harder to concentrate and process information. This is evident in my office, like I said earlier. And I am pretty sure I have ADD, like I said, but this really shows up when I'm trying to get work done because my office is such a disaster. I can't give any one thing 100% attention from start to finish because I get distracted with all the piles of shit on my desk. And like you said, it makes us feel bad. It makes me be like, oh my God, I am a hot mess.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm stuck in this horrendous Mobius loop of like, I don't have time. I've got to get this other stuff done. But oh my God, this is upsetting me. Like it's this constant noise of like watching two things at once. So my husband always is like, you need to get your hearing checked. And I'm like, no, I just can't have distracting noise going on when I'm trying to focus on something else. At any rate, it's a thing.
Yeah. Well, and did you know that clutter can even impact your physical health? Researchers from UCLA found that people who live in cluttered spaces are more likely to feel fatigued, overwhelmed, and physically unwell. And I feel this sometimes. It's like a physical weight that takes an emotional toll.
Yeah. And I can see it being a health hazard and not just stuff for sure.
It can be. A study from the Journal of Environmental Psychology found that clutter can create a sense of dissatisfaction with your home, which spills over into other areas of your life. But there's good news. Decluttering has the opposite effect. Clearing out your space reduces stress, improves focus, and can even make you happier. There was a 2011 study published in Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, and it found that women who described their homes as restorative instead of cluttered had lower stress levels and better overall mood. I mean, I would too. I've never described my home as restorative, but that sounds amazing.
I was just thinking, like, I would love to be in that place, but it's just like, I don't have the time. And when I do, it's like, that is not my go-to. Like,
You're right.
Hey, let's declutter my office. Yay. No, that's not going to happen. But I mean, I can see it being self-care, like yoga. Instead of stretching, you go through the fridge and you toss out the biology experiments.
Right. And the act of letting go, it can be empowering. It's a physical way of saying, I'm prioritizing myself and my peace of mind. And I feel that like when I declutter spaces, it's like it's an energy shift and you can feel it. And here's the thing, it's not about just getting rid of the things. It's about making space for peace, for clarity, for the life that you truly want to live, and space for whatever you're calling in. And I don't mean new things, like whatever energy you're calling in.
Yeah. I think I need some routines. So hopefully we're going to talk about that soon. But before we get into that, let's talk about the why behind the clutter. Because as we've alluded to, letting go of things can be really, really, really hard.
Oh my God. Don't I know it? And a lot of what we hold on to, like this is my problem, is tied to these emotions, memories, guilt, or even a sense of identity.
Yeah. Guilt is a big one. But you know what's really funny though? Like I'll come across something that my daughter did. Like, oh my God, you did this like painting with macaroni of this turnip. It's so cute. I can't throw it out. And she's like, eh. Like
Right.
they don't care, you know? Like they were fine before they knew it existed and they'll be fine after. This is all in my head.
They literally don't care because when I was moving, I moved 3 years ago to my current home and I moved from the home that my kids grew up in, right? So I have all the stuff from preschool on, all the awards, all the trophies, all the writings, all the math projects. I just have it all. And I'm sending pictures of all these things to them. And I'm like, do you want this? Do you want this? And they said no. Like I would say 99.9% of all of their things, they said no. But I kept some of them.
So much for that idea.
I'll have to go through that at those things at a different time. But I mean, because it is fun to, I don't know. Anyway, no, I have a problem, clearly.
Oh my God.
But good news is this is not being passed down to our kid. Like our kids somehow have a better, clearer, healthier image of stuff, right?
I agree. My daughter's much better at doing that. Like she makes the clutter like nobody's business. So does my son. But when they're ready to get rid of it, it's gone, no matter how important it was. The other thing I think about is, and again, my dad is my barometer for this because oh my God, that house is so full of clutter. He's such a hoarder. And every time I go through that, I'm like, I can't believe he's sticking me with this. Right. And so I look around at my house and I'm like, I will not be the reason my kids have to spend 2 weeks throwing shit out and sorting through stuff. Like, because I know that's what I'm in for and it just pisses me off.
No, absolutely. I went through it with my grandmother. I'm like literally going through, cards that somebody sent her at Easter in like 1972 and just stuff like that. And I did tell myself I wasn't going to do this to my kids. And so I better get my shit together before I croak because my kids are going to be dealing with a lot of stuff.
Oh my God.
And we put up, like I said, we put up our Christmas decorations yesterday. And I, like you, I'm putting up these little pine cone reindeer things with glitter and a little red, felt nose from like 2004. And, they look pretty beat up and shabby, but I put them up every year. And I feel like maybe I should ask them this year because they can do it. I'll say, here, should we keep this? And if not, they can throw it away. I'll let them do it.
Oh, I like that idea.
Right?
I like that idea very much. Very much. I like this idea.
Let them do it.
And, I mean, I suppose it's the whole sliding doors, Gwyneth Paltrow movie kind of thing where you're holding on to these potential versions of yourself. But I think for me, I think what gets me is the time, I don't like doing it, but I like how it makes me feel afterwards. And then the other thing is it's like, I get paranoid that I'm going to throw something out that I'll need again. And I'm like, what? You went through the depression? Like, what is your problem? Like, you're fine. Like, it's okay. I feel like when I had somebody help me go through my garage, that was so productive because it's like when you have somebody else there, they can be like, okay, the reindeer pine cone and felt has mold on it. Like you're literally going to make yourself sick. Like, you know what I mean? And so that's why I'm hoping when my friend comes this summer, she can kind of help me do that part. And I love a good Pinteresty board for organization. That's the other piece that I struggle with. Like I said, it's like I need to have things to organize stuff in.
I'm desperately looking for the name of this woman that I follow on Instagram because she addresses that exact thing. Like, well, I'm going to keep this thing because what if I need it? Even though we haven't used it in 8 years.
And you're not talking about Marie Kondo, right?
No, definitely not Marie Kondo. No. I like that idea of the different versions of ourselves. Because I'm always thinking about that and talking about that with my clients. It's like, who are you stepping into? What version of yourself are you stepping into? And, this is a side note, but I have a problem with Halloween costumes. Like I used to throw massive adult Halloween parties. Not I don't have kid costumes. I have adult costumes because I have had, I don't even know how many double digits of epic Halloween parties at my old house. Now I live in the middle of nowhere, so nobody can get here. But anyway, I still have these Halloween costumes because I love it. Halloween brings me so much freaking joy. And so getting rid of my Halloween costumes is very difficult for me. Oh my gosh, I might need to go to therapy to deal with it. My name is Karen Shatafian, and I am a shameless coffee addict and empowerment coach for women, and my love language is authenticity. My mission is helping women unapologetically design a life they're in love with. Because what the hell are we waiting for? My website, KarenShatafian.com, has all my coaching packages and free offers like my midlife reclamation guide. In it, you'll find tools to help you decide how to create the most inspired and empowered version of yourself and your life. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram talking about ways women can show up for themselves after decades of showing up for everyone else. Join me as we throw off the shackles and live our best freaking lives. See the show notes for all the details. Cheers. It is a good point talking about the potential versions of ourselves, right? So, because we're kind of living for when this thing happens. Like I'm living for when my fantasy, Halloween party is actually going to happen, even though it probably never will because I'm so hard to get to. And I'm doing that instead of living in the now, right? Like letting go of stuff doesn't mean letting go of my memories or letting go of my dreams. It's just about releasing what is no longer serving us so we can focus on what does. Like, what can I call in that is going to serve me? And, making space for who we are, not who we think we should be or who we think we might be, but who are we? That's kind of deep. But before we jump into the practical tips, we have to talk about the person who made decluttering a global phenomenon. Marie Kondo.
Yes. The queen of folding, the queen of does this spark joy. I actually have a funny Marie Kondo story. So I actually posted it on Facebook. So I was going through a decluttering phase and I found a copy of her book in large print. So it was like 3 times the size of what it should have been, right? I picked it and I was like,
a sign.
So I had it in my box to declutter and I took a picture and I was just like, oh, the irony that I'm decluttering Marie Kondo. But I do like the idea of like, keep it if it makes you happy, not keep it because you'll be a size 4 someday or, oh God, aren't you sad you can't throw those Halloween parties anymore? Like keep it because it makes you happy. And that feels so guilty, right? Like it just, I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, but I am sad I can't have those Halloween parties anymore. But her book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, came out, right? And then later her Netflix show. I didn't read the book. I saw her show.
Oh, I haven't seen the show, so.
Oh, it's so good. And it's like you can see, she goes in and works some magic in some families' homes. It's incredible. But it was like a cultural reset. Suddenly we're all thinking and suddenly we're all rethinking our relationship with our stuff.
Yeah. And it's very different, right? For those of you that have been living under a rock and have never heard of Marie Kondo, it's not about getting rid of things because you should. It's about only keeping what makes you happy.
Right. And her method, called the KonMari method, focuses on tidying by category, not location. So you tackle one category like clothes or books or sentimental items. You handle one at a time, and then you hold each item saying, does this spark joy?
And if it doesn't, you thank it for its service and let it go, which is very Ariana Grande. Thank you next.
We love Ariana. Yeah, her philosophy isn't just about decluttering, it's about mindfulness, right? She encourages us to appreciate the items that serve us, and this is the part that I love, and release the ones that don't without guilt.
And I think that's the game changer, especially for us midlife mamas. We're at a point where we've accumulated decades of crap, but also decades of guilt. So I think it's freeing to think I can let go of this and I can still feel good about it.
Absolutely. And Marie Kondo has had such a huge impact globally. And after her show, thrift stores reported an increase in donations because people were finally ready to let go of the things that didn't serve them.
Yeah. And I think it's that whole decluttering without shame piece. And I think everybody needs that, right? It's like when I say it's easier for me to have someone here to be like, really? Like, come on, throw that out kind of a thing.
For sure. And here's the thing. You don't have to follow her method perfectly. Like I don't do every single step that that she does, or I haven't in the past. Some people thrive on her step-by-step process, and others just take the spark joy question and run with it. For me, I love the idea of just kind of like giving thanks, like something that you are going to release or let go of. It's like acknowledging what it meant for you and then releasing it with gratitude.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the big picture. I mean, like, sorry, but ain't no way I'm going to be perfectly folding all my t-shirts in a stacked, loving way. Like, that happens in no lifetime.
Right. Yeah. No, not for me either. But I think that one of the key takeaways is that it's not just the stuff. It's not about the stuff. It's about creating the space that reflects and supports the life that we want to live.
So here's the thing for me is the practicality of it, right? Like I've been trying and failing miserably doing like the one drawer thing. Let's get practical because God knows I need it. So for those of you that are ready to start decluttering but feel overwhelmed, hello, raising hand. We've got some simple strategies to help you start.
Yeah, hand up over here. The first one, it's the one small thing rule. So let's start with one drawer, one shelf, or one closet. Don't try to tackle the whole house at once. Like this is, I'm famous for this because that's a recipe for burnout. And it's also a recipe for unloading all these closets and shelves and shit. And then you get burned out. And so you leave all that crap everywhere for like a week.
Totally. So true. So the other method is the 3 piles method, the keep, donate, toss. And here's the trick, be ruthless with that keep pile. Now, I'm actually pretty good about this, but my problem is there's so much crap I want to donate that it sits in a pile at the front of my house because I'm like, oh, I'll just take it when I'm on my way somewhere. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, God, which is stupid, right? I need to just like throw it in the back of my car so I can like stop by Goodwill or whatever.
No, because then it'll sit in your car for a couple weeks because that's where all my I have 4 boxes in the back of my car right now and they've been there for a minute.
But you know what? It's not in your house. So I call that progress.
Thank you. I like that. I'll take it. So ask yourself, does this item serve a purpose? Does it bring me joy? If not, then it's time to say goodbye.
I would also add to that, is there a way I can like preserve the spirit of this item that's less cluttery, right? Like take a picture of my mom's canning lids kind of thing. I mean, I think that in the digital age, that's definitely something too as well.
It's a good one. So another thing is you can just set a timer. Give yourself like 15 or 30 minutes to declutter one area. And then when the timer goes off, you're done. That's it. Just keep moving. Go about your day. And it keeps the process more manageable so you don't get overwhelmed.
And I've tried this. I'm just bad at like being consistent with it, but that definitely helps me. It's just hard because I get distracted with 50,000 friggin' other things. Oh, whoops, sorry. And even though we're saying like go to digital, right? There's also digital clutter. So delete those old emails. I am famous for like every once in a while I'll go through my email and I'll like grab an email address of something that I know I've been getting a million emails for. And then I just pop it in the search bar and delete all of them and do that like 3 times. Delete the blurry photos, delete the apps, all that stuff. That's easy. You know, that's an easy one to feel progress.
I have about 5,000 emails right now in my email. And I'm just considering just like, deleting everything. It's like,
I'm telling you,
YOLO.
like, so like if you have whatever, info@bestbuy.com, this is what I do. Copy the address, put it in the search bar, it pulls them up and it'll say, do you want to delete all of these? Do you want to delete the first 50? And then you go through. And what I like about that is it declutters stuff really fast. So I can look and be like, I can either unsubscribe or I'm like, okay, I still want to get this. I just don't want to have all this in my inbox. And you can get rid of like hundreds of emails like that.
That's a hot tip.
Just call me Marie Kondo.
Okay, Marie. Here's one more. Try the 1 in, 1 out rule. I like this with like clothes and stuff because it's so easy to buy crap on Amazon. So for every new item you bring into the home, let go of something else. And it can be a game changer. So you might not be getting rid of stuff, but at least you're not accumulating more stuff.
Okay. And I say this with my heart in the right place. Like, yes, I agree. But my Amazon cart fully loaded for Cyber Monday. Just saying.
I mean, that's different. It's Christmas.
Okay, good. See, I love the holidays for so many reasons.
It's all the holidays. That's
yes, it's the holidays. It's the patriarchy. Bottom line, decluttering isn't just about making your house look nice. Although I look at these Pinterest photos. I'm like, you people do not have children. You don't have animals. You don't have any of it. You have someone styling your spaces. Like, come on.
Oh, it's
But-
annoying. I don't compare. I can't look at Instagram feeds, the curated ones, because
Oh my God.
yeah, if you don't have kids and animals, I don't want to hear it.
I know. My cousin.
Actually, I don't have kids. What am I talking about? Well, I have kids, but they don't live with me, so I can't even use that. If you don't have animals, I don't want to hear about it.
There you go.
Hey, Fabulous Drinks with the Girls listeners, guess what? We have something exciting happening here at Drinks with the Girls. We have a way for you, our listeners, to be involved. We would love you to be a part of our Drinks with the Girls support team. Creating a sisterhood of empowered women is our goal, and we are so grateful you are here. But we need your help to grow this incredible community that we have a big and bountiful vision for.
You can help us get the word out about Drinks with the Girls because we want all women to feel the support of our powerful community behind them. Here's what you need to do. Go to your favorite podcast platform and subscribe or follow Drinks with the Girls if you haven't already. We need you to share every episode we put out.
We would love for you to do this, especially when a particular episode resonates with you and or brings to mind someone you care about that you think would benefit from listening to it. Share with a girlfriend via text, share to your email newsletter, share on your socials, share from the rooftop. Every share is a chance for all women around the world to feel connected and supported by our Drinks with the Girls sisterhood.
The other thing you can do is officially join our Pod Squad email list. That will help you in two ways. First off, every time a new episode drops, you'll get an email with info on the topic, so it reminds you to tune in and listen with an easy-to-follow link. But it's also an easy format to hit forward on and share with some of your favorite people so they can easily access the newest episode. That link is always included in our show notes for you.
We are so excited to have you as part of the Drinks with the Girls Pod Squad support team. We are all in this together. Cheers!
Cheers!
When you let go of that physical clutter, you also free up your mental and emotional energy. It's like hitting the reset button. And anybody, I'm sure all of you out there have done some sort of decluttering at some point. And it's like just that feeling you get, you literally get lighter. Like your energy changes when you get rid of stuff.
Yeah. And reclaiming that sense of control in a world that is, let's face it, freaking chaotic right now. Having a clean, organized space is empowering.
Yeah, totally. And for us in midlife, I mean, this is our time, right? We're not here to be weighed down by anybody's bullshit. And we're certainly not here to be weighed down by junk, literal or figurative. Lisa, have you had any decluttering wins or disasters that you want to share? I mean, other than our
20-foot shipping container. Yeah, I know. Like, do we have all night? So I have a fun story from my mom. So God love her, right? Trying to get my dad to participate in things. What can I do to help? Said he never. So the times when she was able to do that, right? She was like, can you just take this stuff? Because, back in the days of dry cleaning, take this stuff to the dry cleaners and then this other stuff needs to get donated. You know where this is going.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
So, because my mom was nothing if not persistent, once she figured out what happened, she went to the thrift store and was like trying to convince them to give her back her stuff. And I think she ended up buying a bunch of it. It was like, I felt for her.
I've been slowly, like I've said earlier, over the years and decades, tackling the boxes of things from my mom and my grandma. And I've been giving myself grace to go slow, obviously, at a snail's pace. Like, I don't have to purge all 10 boxes of books at once. I can just take my time. And I know once I release them, I will feel better. But I'm just allowing myself to go at my own pace.
It's definitely not easy, says the girl who's maybe 7 feet away from her last 3 animals' ashes that passed away that I can't let go. And so they live in the closet, which is like, oh, I'm sure they'd be really happy about that.
Mine used to be displayed on a shelf out here. And then, yeah, they moved to this little random, it's not even a room. It's like a little alcove. They're all in there.
Yeah, I gotta figure out something for that. Maybe my roses this summer.
Yeah. And it's okay to take it slow. I mean, progress is what's important, not perfection.
Yes, indeed. So let's wrap this up so we can all go declutter. Just kidding. If you're ready, here are 4 to 6 steps you can start today. And I swear to God, I'm going to try this. Like, I can think of one small, tiny thing that I'm going to, as soon as I hang up from this, I'm going to go do it because I'll feel better. So number 1, start small. Pick one drawer, one shelf or one closet and focus just on that. And frankly, for me, even picking one closet sounds like a lot. So there you go. Small wins build big momentum. Use the 3 piles method. Keep, donate, toss. Be honest with yourself, no guilt. And try to set a rule for how long the box sits in your car. Just saying. Ask the big questions, those Marie Kondo questions. Does this serve a purpose? Does this bring me joy? If not, let it go. Digitally declutter. Don't forget your phone and your computer. Delete old emails, apps, duplicate photos. There's so many, like Google has all this stuff now that's like, oh, you have 30 billion like doubles of those photos. So use those. Adopt the 1 in, 1 out. So for every new item you bring home, let go of something else.
I found my bestie on Instagram. Just kidding.
You've been like on a chair.
But I love her. No. So her name is Carrie Powell, and she is a decluttering coach. She's a professional organizer, and her Instagram account is very easy. It's very digestible. She does mostly reels, and it's very engaging, and I promise you will walk away with something that will change for you. Her account's called method_Seattle. I'm not sure about that, but Carrie Powell, decluttering coach, we'll put her in the show notes. So listeners, what is one area of your life that you are ready to declutter? Is it your home, your schedule, your mindset? Ooh, I love that one. You heard me declare, I'm ready to declutter the massive amount of books that I have in my garage. So you guys need to hold me accountable.
This is ironic, but like there's so much I have to declutter. I'm struggling to find one thing I'm going to commit to. So I need to figure that out.
Start small.
So whatever that is, take the first step today. Carrie, Marie, if you're out there and you want to be a guest on our show, you're welcome anytime.
Oh my God, I'm going to reach out to Carrie for sure.
You totally should do that. That would be awesome. Maybe I'll reach out to Marie. The smallest action can lead to big changes. So I'm going to try to adopt this as my motto and not just throw my hands up and be like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think this was really good. At least it was good for me. I don't know. How about you? That's it for today. Listeners, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Drinks with the Girls. You're never quite sure, what you're going to get, right, with us? But that's how it is with girlfriends when we all sit down together and enjoy a cup of coffee or a cocktail together. And if you love this conversation, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and please pass this on to a girlfriend.
Yes, please. We are closing in on 1,000 downloads. And oh my gosh, we would love your help with that. 16 countries. Crazy time. Mm-hmm. So on our way to 1,000 downloads, share this episode with someone that you think could use a little help. Because frankly, let's face it, we all need to declutter. And tag us. We would love to hear about your wins, your shares. We've just so appreciated when y'all reach out and share things with us. And even the funny ones, because God knows we all need a little laugh. And yeah, that's the thing with this podcast. We'll set these topics up and we're like, this is a very serious topic. And then it'll be like this one or vice versa. And it'll be serious. So, but that's part of friendship, right? You just start in one place and, you can trust who you're with and you just have a blast hanging out.
Absolutely. And we want to hear what are your decluttering wins, challenges, the funny things like Lisa said.
Inspire us.
So we have an Instagram account. It's small but mighty. So it's Drinks with the Girls Pod. So go follow us over there and tag us with Drinks with the Girls Pod. And we want to celebrate you because we're all in this together, baby.
All right. Cheers to living your best clutter-free life.
Cheers.
Cheers.